There was a time when I had a school friend group, the kind of people you would meet in school, but then also outside of school for sleepovers or restaurants. And one evening we were sitting at this little Italian place which had this amazing pizza. But then we were talking and I kind of noticed, wait, these are not the same people that I had actually befriended 2 years ago. They have changed now, or I have changed. Anyways, their values don't align to mine anymore. The one guy was now talking about, okay, I want to rush down the new streets in my little BMW that I'm gonna buy. And then I asked him, is this really your mission of life? And he said, yes. And in that moment, it kind of flipped for me because you know that you're friends because they are compatible with you. And compatibility is kind of this thing where you may have the same hobbies, the same interests, and also the same values, which that's the reason it just feels right because you are chill together and you don't show like so much conflict which you would have with other people. You could basically talk about anything because you have the same opinions about stuff, right? You can laugh about the same stuff, you have the same humor. And this makes you compatible. But as you know, people grow over time. And if you're in a stage right now where you notice that more and more people kind of get out of your life or you don't actually have a good time with them anymore because their values have changed and they as a person have changed, or you just don't recognize that you've outgrown them. It's quite a brutal fact, especially if you're on self improvement, that a lot of people that are not on self improvement, which will be most of your friends naturally, because not many teenagers are actually on self improvement, because not many people know about it generally. So, with that, you have to keep in mind you will get your values up, you will have other interests which will change over time because you were interested in video games 5 years ago, but now you're more interested in actually making friends. You don't care about money so much. But now the people that were on video games with you 5 years ago now care about money and their future job and maybe even cars, which you don't give a fuck about, frankly. And with that, it's not your fault that these friends are leaving you. And it's also not their fault because you have to recognize, which is a truth that I didn't want to have, but you will have to let some people go, especially your friends which you have been growing up with. And it will hurt, but as a matter of fact, if imagine you had a good time with them, but if the future just doesn't hold so much rate of interest anymore, like what you would get back from spending time with them. Back then you had the best time, you were laughing all of the time, but now it's kind of you're listening to each other and then saying a bit. You want to give advice, but the other guy actually gets mad about it. I once heard a guy say that friends are kind of like seasons. They will come, but they will also go, and some stick around for longer than others. And this is an accurate example. Back then, I had my best friend in elementary school, which we would always meet up. Like, he was living in another little city near us, but I couldn't actually go there by myself, so my mom had to drive me all of the time. And so we would organize these play dates, and I would always go to him, and he'd have this cool Wii where we would play some games on. We were basically the best friends you could imagine in elementary school, but then the connection kind of broke off. For 10 years, I think, we haven't seen each other. So, with that, recently I've kind of gotten news about him, and my mom told me about him. And I just thought to myself, if I would want to see him again, if I actually wanted to be his friend again, and if I kind of tried again. And I thought to myself, no, this guy has now grown so far apart from me that I don't even recognize the guy that he once was, like my best friend, which could talk with everything about, do goofy jokes with, which weren't even allowed for our age. I think you don't have to feel bad for letting people go and kind of saying, okay, our time has now come, which we don't have the amazing time anymore, so we might as well just spend less time to no time at all together. You don't have to be ashamed about that. You don't have to be sad about this. There will be new people because you will be compatible with new people now. Even Nisha, right? But the good thing now is that, teenagers go through all of these different identities. And now, when we're getting older, we start kind of stabilizing ourselves. And when you get to a point, I think it gets more of a foundation. Everybody gets more of a foundation. So you are now compatible with new guys. And these new guys, if you meet them now, then you could build a friendship up with them. And they will actually stay for longer because they won't change as much anymore. If they are already going into the gym, if they are already reading, they won't currently stop with this because they are quite orientated to grow, right? And you are as well. So this will just make you compatible again. And of course, they will stay like this for a long time. So you could probably think, and it would be reasonable to think that they would be staying for a long time as your friends as well, right? Don't worry too much about your friend, which now wants to talk to more girls and actually has no time for you, which now has gotten a girlfriend. I have a mate which had gotten a girlfriend like 7 months ago, and I saw him 3 times during that time. With that girlfriend, like, he didn't come to the gym anymore. He, we had this, we had my birthday planned, and we were doing like kind of this fight night where we would put up mattresses and then kind of fight on it, try to wrestle. And it was a really good time, but sadly, the guy that had a girlfriend didn't come. And with that, priorities just change, right? And it's no shame that even you have now changed so much apart. Like, you both will do this. There's the guys which isolate themselves so much that they won't get any friends because they are too extreme in their view. For example, the girlfriend guy, which was willing to spend more time with his girlfriend than with us and kind of put us on the backbone. Like, even shoved us out of his life, honestly. It felt like that. But you're not the guy that just changes everything completely. Not like, you could do this if you really wanted to. You could change your life and flip it around, but you do these little changes over time that will benefit your life, and then they will do it slowly. It's not that if you go into the gym, like in the beginning, then that you are obsessed with the gym right away, right? You need a bit of time to get into that environment, and then after 3 months, you look at the YouTube videos. You actually look at the routines which you can apply to get better at that. You don't change with these habits from one moment to the other. It's a small kind of consistent growth rather than just a cut off like the girlfriend. There will be more friends in the future. And I'm advising you to talk to even more people because talking to more people also results in finding more compatible people. If 1 in 10 people were compatible with you as your friends, then imagine talking to 100 in a week. And then, okay, sweet, you've gotten 10 people that are kind of compatible with you. And now, if the circumstances are right, you can really become their friend and meet up, right? There will be less people that are compatible with you if you really have this growth oriented perspective. There's the gamers right now which don't want to go out at all and socialize at all. Then there's the 90% which are kind of living life, but they don't really care about anything. They still play Brawl Stars during class. They don't read books. And then there's guys like you, which want to grow, which educate themselves on YouTube and talk about new concepts to apply to their lives to kind of grow. Not many people do that. This is no. All of this should be none to your concern. So don't obsess about this too much and think, oh, my social life is going to change just because two friends that are now actually vaping don't socialize with you anymore and you don't have a good time around them anymore. There will be people in the future that you will meet quite soon which are aligning more to your values and have your interests as well, which you can have a good time with again. It starts with talking to a guy on the street or in the gym and complimenting him on the weight he presses. Also, if you want to meet more people which are kind of like you and also have the goals to grow, I've got a small Discord channel which you can join, and we already have some nice guys on there, which will keep you motivated. They keep me motivated consistently, so I'm very grateful for that, by the way. Join that. Until then, see you soon and stay safe.